Hi, it's Jan here for the second time today. And what I want to share with you now is the concept about accepting all. It's huge, and it's probably one of the things that is most difficult actually to implement and to live by. But accepting all is about having an open mind, an open heart, to be able to experience all that you are needed to experience to grow into who you truly are. I would say that is not necessarily the most easy, but based on my own experiences coming to a completely different country, choosing it just to be here for a healing for 3 months, and now I have lived here for 10 years. And the culture between the West and the East, and especially between a city like Copenhagen to a city like Banjar, which I'm living in, which is a completely different situation. The religion is different, the living criteria is different, the language is different, and I have experienced so many things that I didn't know at the time. I had to experience it to grow me, and there was a lot of irritation and frustration sometimes as part of that. Let me just share one little experience with you which tells you about how important it is to be accepting all. And it actually is about one of my worst nightmares because when I was in the Buddhist temple, you might remember that I was talking about this place that I came into, where it was a place with 30 rooms where people used to stay when they were attending a retreat in the Buddhist temple. And at the time I was actually going to my friend Budi, which was living 20 minutes away. Actually he picked me up, and then when I had to go home, I asked to borrow his bike, which of course he granted me. But before doing that, we were celebrating something in his house, and on the wall I saw a huge spider. I mean, in Denmark, spiders are very small, and even seeing a huge spider like that with hair and everything on the wall, freely walking. And I asked him, I was still new in Bali, so is this your own, or is that something coming from outside? No, they come here from time to time, but it's just spiders. And well, I was scared to hell. But then when I go home, it's like, of course I forget everything about it. And going home, I think it was around 10 or 10:30. It was really dark, and I was of course going on first in the big streets, and then I had to go to the small jalan that goes up to the Buddhist temple. And as I'm turning into that jalan, it's like it's like in a crossing of the road between two roads, and no people there. It actually was in the middle of the traditional market. And as I'm driving and turning the wheel, this spider is sitting on my hand, and I was like, what is going on here? And I throw it away out in the air, and I was like shocked. I stopped the bike a little, and and that was kind of where I started realizing that the journey I'm on is not only just accepting what I knew, but also accepting what I didn't know, and what I didn't know and don't know of what could happen. And I had many other experiences like that. So it's like Be ready to experience the unexpected, like I have used before. And that is about accepting all life circumstances that you are now part of. Don't always try to make it, oh, I'm a Western guy, I'm used to these 4-star hotels, so I have to do that. That's what I can survive in. That's not true. Humans are built to survive everything. And if you just listen to some of the prophets and their life and what they had to go through before they could fulfill what they needed to fulfill. If you see some of the historic scenes and in Netflix or other places where they are playing that in National Geographic and so on, you will see that humans are really, really capable of almost everything. So trust that, but accepting all is a precondition to really being able to walk the path. I mean, if you are not facing the things and instead trying to walk around them, you don't learn from them. And that's the key about this. The same with the surrender. If you go into a pain, you cannot just run out of that pain by taking a pill. You have to go through it. That's why accepting all as a precondition with an open heart and an open mind is so important. And I have been experiencing things that when I talk to my best friends, they simply don't believe that I have been able to go through that. And I can only say, it's up to you, it's your perception. But what we have to change is our perception when we start experiencing things that we never ever thought was possible. And I told you already about the first one, about God's trusting in God, about the powers coming from the sky. I mean, we have seen that in television, but I had no idea that it even existed in reality. So all these things is all part of the journey, it's all part of the path. That's why I believe that if you get into trouble, into things that you find very odd, very strange, and maybe even people starting calling you crazy because you're saying things that they cannot relate to. But that's their journey. If your journey is and you have to have this experience to actually grow into who you are, to have courage to walk all the way, then that's your perception. You don't need to share it with everyone else. You don't need to get confirmation from everyone else. You can have your own confidence that what you experienced was you experienced. So, that's actually what it's all about when we talk about accepting all. And I wanted to share a small poem with you as an inspiration. And that is that as a sensitive soul, which you become more and more, even the flowers are alive. When you start seeing the beauty of a flower, you become more alive. That's what I wanted to share with you in this session. I still hope that you enjoy this, and I'm getting back with the next two in a short time. And I hope that you can find resonation in some of this, depending on where you are on your path. I really enjoy to do this actually. It's a new way for me, so it's like, again, challenging yourself to do something you've never done before. And that's basically also what I'm doing here. It's like, I was told many years ago, you have to share this, and I've done that for a long time in writing and so on. But this is a different way, and I can see that it also challenges me from time to time. I hope you enjoy it. Please like, share, subscribe, or comment, and I will get back to you soon. Thank you for this time.